See, when it comes to me, there are only two franchises that really pop in my mind. Sonic the Hedgehog and Spider-Man. And also Legos. Wait, that'd be three. Hey, what's up guys, it's Zach, and I'm actually going to come at you guys with a really different video. And it's also something that's out of my content, if you really want to, go there. Here on the ZacDicoot channel, we only talk about Sonic the Hedgehog and maybe also some other things, but majority of it is Sonic the Hedgehog and merchandise. But today I wanted to make this new video because it's a little something that I don't show much on this channel. If you guys were around during the voting poll when I first posted it on my community tab, you'd see that I asked you guys if you want me to bring back LEGO videos. Most of you said yes, and I think one of you said no. I don't know, that's a random percentage for them to put. Regardless of the matter, I'm going to be bringing you guys this new video. Shout out to Batflight Builds for inspiring this video. I actually watched a couple of his videos, so this will inspire me to do my own. I'm not trying to steal his content or anything, this is just something I thought about doing. Alright, let's cut to the chase because the intro is actually getting a little long. Today I'm going to be ranking every single Spider-Man minifigure from LEGO. Now I'm going to put a couple rules up because I actually need to be a little specific with you guys. When I say Spider-Man, I guess I'm kind of contradicting myself because I said every, but when I talk about Spider-Man, I'm going to be talking about Spider-Man only. So I'll be excluding Miles, Gwen, whoever else is also in the Spider-Man franchise who has appeared as a LEGO minifigure. So I'm only going to be talking about Spider-Man and Spider-Man only. No, we're not going to be talking about Peter Parker because I guess there's just so many versions of him that there's not a definitive version. But yeah, let's just get into this because I don't want this video to be super long. Also, just a heads up, I'm going to be excluding the Duplo figures and also the Spidey and His Amazing Friends figures because I don't really care much about those and I didn't really watch the shows. I'll be ranking them by design and also out of a number from like 1 through 5, so that way it's just not so complicated. Now we can continue. First one up is the original Spider-Man minifigure from the 2002 Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie. This guy's pretty cool. He has some pretty decent printing, especially for his time. I'm not going to praise too much about this minifigure, even if it's the very first Spider-Man LEGO minifigure to have come out. Because granted, there are its flaws and there's also its pros. But we're not here to crap on a minifigure, we're here to rank it. So for my personal ranking and its representation of the 2002 Spider-Man suit, I gotta give it a 4 out of 5. And no, we're not doing anything of those like halfway point thingies where you have like 1.5s and all that stuff. We're being solid. Next up, we got the human spider. It's cool. I don't see too much stuff that's really unique with it other than the mask and obviously the torso. It's just a pretty blank figure, and also it's way back when LEGO was really using the yellow skin for all of their LEGO minifigures. I think for its design overall and the technology that LEGO had at its time, I think it's actually pretty good, so I'm also going to give this one a 4 out of 5. Next up, we have probably one of the best designs for a LEGO figure and also just Spider-Man in general. This is the 2004 Spider-Man 2 LEGO Spider-Man minifigure. Wow, that's a mouthful. This guy is awesome, from the details and the colors all over him. Funny enough, this guy gets mistaken a lot for its older brother, the 2002 minifigure. So you'll see in a lot of other videos of people reviewing this guy, they'll mistake him for the quote-unquote very first Spider-Man minifigure when he's actually like the third. Of course, we're talking in terms of it being a Spider-Man minifigure, not Peter Parker. But overall, he looks great, even if he's reusing some assets from the original Spider-Man minifigure. He looks good. He definitely has all the details that are featured onto the Spider-Man 2 suit as it translates into the Spider-Man minifigure. So I'm gonna give this guy a 5 out of 5. I like the way how the symbols look and just the look overall. I do wish though, if LEGO did at the time have the arm printing, it would have looked way better and also just dual molding with the legs, but that isn't until further down the line, of course. Next up, we have one of my personal favorite Spider-Man minifigures. This is the Ultimate Spider-Man minifigure. Or if you guys really want, you could just call him Classic Spider-Man. I know this guy was titled Ultimate Spider-Man, but if you guys really think about it, he shares a lot of designs from the comics. Of course, that's not to trash on the show Ultimate Spider-Man, that's a different story. I'm just saying that the designs look a little different, especially when it comes to the coloring. Getting back to this minifigure, he actually looks really good for what it is. Now, I know later on down the line he ends up getting the dual molded features, but yet he has no arm printing. I guess that's for them to stand to like the whole design for the Ultimate Spider-Man costume, because if you guys notice, he doesn't really have his armbands and they kind of get removed. But I don't want to get into those smaller details because I know there are a couple other Spider-Man minifigures that do that also when they get little tweaks and modifications into their own minifigure. So we're going to keep it simple and talk about the main design and the main base of the minifigure. This guy's a 4 out of 5. I know I said he's one of my personal favorites, but realistically, he's kind of missing a few details, and I just can't praise him too much. I will say, however, he's definitely a really big improvement, especially when it took like a couple of years for LEGO to get the Spider-Man license again and just start making Spider-Man minifigures. Next up, we got the San Diego Comic-Con black suit Spider-Man. 5 out of 5. Do I really gotta explain it? It's symbiote Spider-Man. The only ever issue I have with this is that the figure is way too expensive on the aftermarket, and also he's missing the little white bands that are supposed to be on his fist. He also is reusing Venom's torso, which, like, it only makes sense because it's Venom. The only thing truly making this guy unique is the print on his face. Then came the year 2014, and with this year came out the movie Amazing Spider-Man 2. Unfortunately, this minifigure is also another San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but this is the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man minifigure. I don't know how to feel about this guy. I'm half and half with him. The print, the detail, the thing it's based off of, even the story. I actually love Amazing Spider-Man 2. But regardless of all of that, there are just some design choices that I don't really like about this one. I'm not bashing the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit by itself. That thing's beautiful. I'm just talking about what's like portrayed into the LEGO minifigure itself. The symbol looks a little thick, the eyes are a little slim, and what the hell is going on with the pants? LEGO, I get you were trying to do the idea of him having boots, but this isn't really the way to do it, and I noticed they do it on a couple other minifigures that have this sort of detail. But even with all that, it's just not cutting it for me, so this is going to be our very first entry to have a 3 out of 5, and I know a couple of you guys are going to be upset because the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, I know that, but this guy literally gets an upgrade later down the line, so we're going to keep going on. Next up, we have Iron Spider. Now, I don't know if this is portrayed as the Iron Spider from the Ultimate Spider-Man show. At least that's how it was labeled as when it came into the set. But we're going to be talking about it overall and just exclude the extra nonsense. Iron Spider is cool. He's probably my second favorite suit that's ever been featured in the Spider-Man franchise. It's a very simple design, and, well, it definitely translates well into LEGO because it was never a complicated design. The golden eyes are there, the golden logo is there. It looks really cool, and I love the way how it's shaped. However, I never really knew how to feel about the little spider arms. They gave him 4 when he actually had 3 in the original costume. Despite all of that, I'm gonna give him a 4 out of 5. I wanted to give him a 5 out of 5, but just the spider arms just kind of ruined it. Everything else about this figure, though, it's freaking amazing. Mighty Micro Spider-Man. 1 out of 5. It's a stupid minifigure. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't like it. The facial expressions are cool, but the whole concept of Mighty Micros just kind of ruined it. Okay, I just want to give you guys a little heads up. I'm going to be a little biased when it comes to the next coming minifigures, because this is around the time when Civil War came out and when Spider-Man was coming back into LEGO as a cinematic character. So next up, we got Concept Art Spider-Man. Why do I call him Concept Art Spider-Man? Because in the Civil War movie, there was a suit that was used behind the scenes by Tom Holland. This suit was designed differently than the one we got in the finished product, and also the one we see in Spider-Man Homecoming. This is the unused Civil War suit. This suit is actually my favorite Tom Holland suit, and it got like 0 screen time on any of the movies. This will definitely spoil my next ranking of the Spider-Man Homecoming minifigure, which I'm sorry guys, but this suit is way better than this one. You guys can't convince me otherwise. I just like it. The way how the webbings are raised, the way how the lenses look, the symbols look classic, and I love them. This unused suit actually removes the black bands you see on the Homecoming suit, and by the original looks, it seemed to have had this like blue band that runs along the side of the suit, kind of replicating the black bands that were on the suit for the Homecoming suit. Jesus, I'm saying suit a lot. Anyways, I like that one more because it just seems more fitting and is also a lot less complex. But getting back to the minifigure itself, I'm giving this guy a 5 out of 5. This is one of our first ever fully detailed Spider-Man minifigures. His arms are printed, he has printing on his legs, and they're dual molded. This minifigure was groundbreaking, especially when it came to the rest of the other Spider-Men that were in the LEGO Spider-Man lineup. It did a lot of things that a lot of us LEGO fans wanted in terms of it being like translated into a LEGO Spider-Man minifigure. So that's why I'm gonna give this guy a 5 out of 5. Next up, we were just talking about this guy, the Spider-Man Homecoming LEGO Spider-Man minifigure. He's alright. He's not my favorite design for Spider-Man overall. And I literally just spent like a good however many minutes ranting about how the unused suit was way better than the one we got now. And because this is my personal list, I'm gonna take advantage of that. This guy gets a 4 out of 5 because I don't like how it looks. Not the minifigure, the suit itself. I don't like it, guys. I'm sorry. Next up, we have the Infinity War Lego Iron Spider minifigure. Oh my gosh, this suit sucks. I don't like it. I didn't even like it when I saw it in the first film. What was it? What it was first featured in Spider-Man Homecoming, right? There's so many things wrong with it. The Iron Spider suit is meant to look like an Iron Man suit, but designed for Spider-Man. So tell me why this suit just looks like a dumber version of the original suit. I also don't like the fact that Tony came up with the Spider-Man design in the movie. I thought that was really stupid. Anyways, let me backtrack before I turn into an angry nerd about Spider-Man. I don't like the suit. I don't think there's ever been a time I really liked it, other than the metallic looks on it. But the colors are just so... The red, half of the time, doesn't even look like a red. And the blue parts, which I guess they're blue, but the designers said that they were supposed to be black or some other color because they said it's the first Spider-Man suit to never feature blue on it. It just looks ugly. And because of all that, I'm going to give this guy a 3 out of 5. Also, Lego, again, with the legs, what are you doing? I got a feeling that somewhere down the line that Lego's gonna come back to this one style and actually do good with it. Because to be fair, we only ever got this one minifigure in one set, and it was from the Sanctum Sanctorum set, but it wasn't really worth it. I will say this though, the spider legs look way better than they did on the original Iron Spider minifigure. Next up, we got the all-new, all-different Spider-Man suit. Yes, I'm calling these minifigures by their name of the comic. I know some people are calling it the Spider Armor Mark IV, but that's kind of dumb because it's from the PS4 game. But I'll spare you guys the time because that is a mouthful. So the Spider Armor Mark IV suit actually looks pretty good on this minifigure. I personally actually really like the design of the suit itself. I actually like how it looks in the Spider-Man PS4 game also. Something about metallic Spider-Man suits really bring a smile to my face. When it's done right. I noticed I've been talking more about the suits than I am talking about the minifigures. I'm sorry about that. Anyways, back to the minifigure. I know there's another version of this guy where he has the dual molded boots, but we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to talk about the minifigure itself as a whole. For what it's based off of, it does a good job, but I can't get over the idea of them just using a plain matte look on the figure. The design is supposed to be based off of the Spider Armor Mark IV, and it doesn't really have that metallic look. It just looks like a basic fabric Spider-Man suit, except for when you get to the eyes, because that's when they started adding shadings to the lenses. The logo isn't glowing like it does in the actual suit, so that kind of just makes it feel like it's just a basic fabric suit, which isn't really accurate to the source material, and because of that, I'm just gonna give this guy like a 3 out of 5. It's not a bad minifigure, it just does a bad job trying to represent what it's based off of. And, why didn't they give him the armbands? Like, they did it for Iron Spider, and they did it for the Homecoming design, so why didn't they give it to this guy? They were already doing it. Night Monkey. Or if you guys want, the Shield suit. I don't like it. I didn't even like the way how it looked in the movie. It just didn't feel like a Spider-Man outfit. It was just one of those moments where Spider-Man needed a suit, and they just handed him something to replace his original outfit. It's cool if you want a Shield Agent Spider-Man, but it just doesn't work for me, so I'm gonna give this guy like a 2 out of 5. I'm not gonna be too harsh on it because it does have some pretty cool details on it, but I just don't like the suit personally, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a holy grail right here. This is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Spider-Man PS4 Spider-Man minifigure. This guy is awesome. The way how the prints came out, the design overall, I actually really love this suit. And I love the way how Lego did like every little intricate detail in there. But I only got one thing to say. Where are the arm printing? Lego, these minifigures are supposed to be premium. If you're not going to give that to me, what's the point? Discarding from all the arm prints, I'm going to give this guy a 4 out of 5. He's good, but it's just there's some details that are missing, and it's so dumb that this is the only way you could get him. If you went to Comic-Con that year. Sorry if I'm stumbling on my words, I'm just genuinely upset. It's such a cool minifigure, but it just lacks some detail. So yeah, just gonna give him a 4 out of 5. Next up, we got the Iron Spider version 2, and I know you guys are questioning why I'm including this as a separate minifigure. In terms of the variants that I didn't include for Peter Parker, the only differences were the pieces that were used for the minifigure. This one is an entirely different print. In fact, the more I look at this, it looks like it's based off of the PS4 game. I like the details, but then when you come up to the face, what happened? It might just be me, but I know they're going for a different design. In fact, I'm actually confident they're going for the Insomniac look. But his eyes just look so small. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but the lenses just look a little funny to me, and I don't even know if that's how they looked in the game. And also, what the heck happened to the spider legs? They look like little mini blades that he put on his back. 3 out of 5. It's an okay minifigure, but it just looks a little weird to me. Spider Ham. He's cool. 4 out of 5. I don't really have much to say about him other than he looks pretty cool. Next up, we have our modern Spider-Man minifigure. I'm calling him Modern Spider-Man because this is our current Spider-Man minifigure we have, well, as of right now, really. This guy is actually really awesome, and if you look at his details, he almost looks like he's based off of the game also. No, wait, that's the exact same logo. Even on the back. Huh. I am officially dubbing this Insomniac Spider-Man. Classic suit. Well, do I put the brackets, or... I'm just gonna call him the classic suit from the Insomniac games, because, come on guys, you can't tell me that's not the logo. The details are beautiful, I love the symbols, I love the design, it has dual molded boots, and guys, they did it. He has arm printing, oh my gosh, on a classic suit. Guys, we did it! 5 out of 5. And yes, we're talking about this version specifically, because they nerf him down eventually by getting rid of the boots. But even still, that's a 5 out of 5 because he still has the arm printing, like, come on. And it's the Insomniac suit. How are you going to say no to that? It's actually one of my favorite iterations of the classic suit. Even if it looks a little funny in some angles. Moving on. Next up, we have Spider-Man Noir. Noir? Noir? I don't know. It's pleasing to see this guy again, you know? We don't really get that much merchandise for this guy in terms of, like, action figures and all that stuff. But, hey, he's finally here. And it only felt right because, you know, the whole bandwagon of Spider-Verse. So, yeah. Actually, even speaking of Spider-Verse, you notice his design is kind of based off of the movie. The coat, the fedora, even his mask, it looks like it has the Spider-Verse design. I'm gonna give this guy a 5 out of 5. Give him a custom coat piece for a Lego minifigure, you got yourself a pretty decent Spider-Man Noir figure. Next up, we have the big time Spider-Man suit. This guy's cool, he's actually a pretty underrated suit in my opinion. I love the way how the neon green looks, it actually looks pretty cool. I'm gonna give this guy a 5 out of 5 as well. I know it seems a little unfair because usually the big time suit is pretty simple, and the print is also very simple on the minifigure, but, you know, sometimes simple is better than anything complicated. Next up, we got this weird ass homemade suit, which is clearly inspired by the homemade suit from Spider-Man Homecoming. I guess it's alright, the color patterns are based off of the Scarlet Spider suit. Because of that, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. It just doesn't really look good overall, and I think it's also an original design by LEGO themselves, because I don't remember seeing Spider-Man or Peter Parker wear this kind of clothing in any media or comic. Next up, we have What If Spider-Man. My goodness, this is one of the best Spider-Man minifigures that has came out after the Civil War minifigure. Why do I say that? Look at this guy. Look at the design. Look at the prints. He has leg printing on the outside of the leg. And my goodness, he has arm printing. And it looks fantastic. This is definitely one of the few suits that I actually like that feature the whole Stark Tech design on a Spider-Man outfit. And it's mainly because it doesn't try to focus on being so complicated. It's just simple and straight to the point. The logos are big and simple, something I actually kind of like about Spider-Man suits whenever they had the chance to do so. And the head print looks awesome. And just a heads up before we go forward, you'll also see this head print reused on a couple more Tom Holland Spider-Man minifigures. I don't have anything else to say other than the fact that this guy is really detailed. The cape looks a little silly, especially when we got a newer and better cape from Doctor Strange. Anyways, enough of me praising this. This guy's an obvious 5 out of 5. He's probably, if not one of the only detailed Spider-Mans that are like really detailed compared to like other ones. So yeah, he's an easy 5 out of 5 on this list. Next up, we got Far From Home Spider-Man. This is one of my few favorite suits that I've seen Tom Holland Spider-Man wear in the cinematic universe. Why is that, you ask? Because red on black is sick! I love all the details that are featured on this suit, and I love how the linings and segments are separated in this kind of metallic look. And hey, look! He's using the same face as Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. Yes, there are some details that are missing, like the little arm details, the hand being a little inaccurate because it's not one solid color, and also them missing out on the highlights on the little spider logo in the front. But besides all that, I'm gonna give him a pretty good score of 4 out of 5. He's a really good minifigure for what it is. The Far From Home suit, Inside Out. I don't really consider this as a separate suit because it's the exact same suit, just worn inside out. I'll tell you guys this, I'm a sucker for gold and black, but this suit overall was just dumb. I don't like that people consider it a different suit. I'll give this guy like a 2 out of 5. I don't like that they include this guy as a separate suit. Hey, wait a minute, is that arm printing? Never mind, 3 out of 5. This guy's good. While I'm at it, Lego, why does the inside out version of the suit have arm printing compared to the actual outside of the suit? Explain! Next up, we have the integrated suit, which is, once again, the exact same suit that was used in the beginning of the movie. 1 out of 5. I hate the suit. I just don't like it. I'm sorry, guys. Next up, we have an upgraded version of the Homecoming suit, and he just reuses the Zombie Hunter Spider-Man face. I don't know what else to say. He's okay. Yeah. I'll just give him a 4 out of 5 because there's not that much of a big difference other than the face, but I still also don't like the suit too much, but there you go. Next up, we have the brand new Tobey Maguire No Way Home Lego minifigure. Boy, oh boy, how long we've waited. He's really good. I like the way how his face looks, although I'll feel like there's some details that are missing, and it just looks a little lackluster in a way. I don't know what it is, but between you and me, guys, he looks less detailed than he does to his 2004 counterpart. What I mean is that some of the details look a little more flat compared to how the printing was back in the day. But I'm not going to let that bother me because this guy has pretty good detail for what it is. He has dual molded legs, but unfortunately he suffers the fate of not having arm prints. Why, Lego? He even came out in a $100 set! This guy's alright. I'll give him a 4 out of 5. There's just some things that are lacking in this minifigure that could have been done so well, but Lego just decided not to do that. Again, that's not me saying this is a bad minifigure. He's actually pretty good, but he's just not as great compared to his 2004 counterpart. And now, last but certainly not least, the No Way Home Amazing Spider-Man Lego minifigure. Finally, they redeemed my boy Andrew Garfield. This guy is awesome. The way how his face looks, the prints, they're more simple and less complicated. Yes, I know I said I didn't like it on Tobey's, but for this one, it worked pretty damn well. The way how the webbing looks, his eyes, finally, they're the right shape. But once again, he's missing the arm prints. But I'll tell you guys this, though. He's definitely way better than the San Diego Comic-Con one, so I'm gonna give him a 5 out of 5. Just for that one reason. Suck it, Comic-Con! You and your damn exclusive minifigures. And that's gonna wrap it up for this one video. No, I will not be talking about the Christmas minifigures because those are a league of its own. In a bad way, not a good way. Anyways, guys, did you enjoy today's video? Leave a like, comment, and share. Let me know if you guys want me to make another ranking list for Lego minifigures. That'll be all for today. It's been Zach, and peace out.